right, Israel. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. Can I be heard okay on the conference call? Okay, thank you. Tonight, we're going to go over a little meat. I'm going to go through Daniel's 7th chapter. And it's a little meat. I'm tired of going through milk. So we're going to go over a little meat tonight. And Daniel's 7th chapter. I hope this will be edifying for everyone that have ears to hear and have the Holy Spirit. So Daniel's 7th chapter, the first verse. We'll read Colossians 3:17 first. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. So we'll read Daniel's 7th chapter, the first verse. We're going to be going through this, looking at this. It says, in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matter. So we understand this is the first year of Belshazzar, which is the second king of Babylon, or the Babylonian Empire, which is, he would be the son of Nebuchadnezzar, the first king of the Babylonians, or the Ethiopians, or the Cushites, that's what they're known as. Belshazzar. He's the second king of the Babylonian Empire, Nebuchadnezzar's son. So Daniel had a dream, and we're going to look at Numbers, the 12th chapter and the 6th verse. And it says, and he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Most High, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. That's what he said. So when you look at the book of Job also, he reiterates this in the book of Job. Job 33rd chapter in the 14th verse. It says, for the Most High speaketh once, yea twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed, when you sleep. Then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose, and hide pride from man. Okay? So, this is what's happening with Daniel. Now we can look at Amos 3 and 7. The book of Amos 3 and 7. It says, surely the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, who are the children of Israel, the prophets. This is what he does. So, this is why you're seeing Daniel having this dream, and it's a vision that's coming from the Most High that he's having. Bear with me. Okay. So let's look at Daniel's the 2nd chapter and the 28th verse. Daniel 2 and 28. But there is a power in heaven, the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that revealeth secrets, and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. Thy dream and thy visions of thy head upon thy bed are these. And he started to tell him the vision as we went over in Daniel's the 2nd chapter before. So now, going back to Daniel's the 7th chapter, just showing you this, giving you an understanding of how things work and how the Most High will reveal things to you in a dream. A lot of times you might dream something, he's showing you something, and it doesn't make sense to you because it's something, could be something of the future. And sometimes what the white man calls, so-called white man call, deja vu, you might be somewhere and say, wow, it seems like I know, it seems like I recall this before, because the Most High revealed it to you in a vision or a dream, and now he's making it come to pass. That's why you have to stay in the spirit and not just deal with whatever you see that's happening in this world all the time, but be in the spirit, stay in this word, and pray and receive all that you can from the Most High. So now, Daniel's the 7th chapter, 2nd verse. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night. You see, it's at night. And behold, the four winds of the heavens stroll upon the great sea. So now it's the four winds talking about the four nations. The heaven is talking about power, rule, and authority right here on the earth. Stroll meaning war, it was going to war. And the sea is talking about the Mediterranean Sea. Now, we look at verse 3, it says, and four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. Four great beasts, this is four great nations that he's prophesying that's going to come up, and they're different, one from another. Diverse meaning they're different. Came up from the sea, meaning these are nations. Diverse, different from one another. They're different from one another. That's when you look at Revelations 17 and 1. Revelation 17 and 1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, seven destructions coming, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Verse 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Different people with different languages. So it's like you have to understand these precepts to understand what it's actually talking about. So it's talking about these nations, four great nations. That's why I say the waters representing the sea are nations, that's what I said, different from one another. Going back to Daniel 7 and 4. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. The first is the Babylonian Empire, came into power approximately 316 BC. In the lion, it had wings, it had eagle wings. It said like a lion. It said the first was like a lion that had eagle wings. It's the image of the griffin. Image of the griffin. It was copied from the Assyrian Empire. They had the griffin. The lion with the wings. That's the image that the Assyrians had, because they were in power, and the Babylonians took them out of power. When you know history. It was lifted up from the earth, meaning it came into power. That's what it means. It came lifted up from the earth, meaning it came into power. The Babylonian Empire is coming into power as a man, because it was a man. A man's heart, a man's mind, because it was a man that came into power. Nebuchadnezzar. A man's mind, being Nebuchadnezzar, today known as the Ethiopians. The Babylonians coming to power, taking the Assyrians out of power. This is what he's saying. Verse 5. And behold, another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. It's another beast. It's another kingdom coming to power, which is the Persian and Mede Empire that came in approximately 246 BC. This is another kingdom, the Persian and Mede Empire that came into power approximately around 246 BC. So like a bear, because his army was ferocious. And the Persian and Medes are taking down the Babylonian kingdom. This is the dream, the vision that he's seeing. Raised up on one side, the Persian had more power and influence than the Medes. The Persian are, we would consider today as the East Indians. The Medes are from Japheth. 3 ribs. The 3 ribs in his mouth, so that equal the Babylonians, Egyptians, and the Libyans. 3 powers. The Persian and the Mede had to defeat to secure their power upon this earth as a super leading empire of the world. The Persian and Mede Empire. Once again, they had to take down the Babylonians, the Egyptians, and the Libyans, North Africans. The 3 powers the Persian and Mede had to defeat to secure power. The Persians today are the East Indians. The Medes today are the Aborigines of Australia, Japhetic people, Eskimos, indigenous, I might say. Eskimos, the Filipinos, the Hawaiians, the Tungans, the Samoans, Polynesian, these people. The Persians' first king was Cyrus. The Medes' first king was Darius. Say, arise, devour much flesh, mean go and conquer. That's what it's talking about. So, verse 6. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The breast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. Now, it's another kingdom coming into power. After the Persian and Medes were who? The Greeks, or the so-called white people, or the Caucasian came into power, taking down the Persian and Mede Empire. The Greek Empire came in approximately 150 BC. The leopard, Alexander the Greek, whose father was Philip of Macedonia, he conquered all known dark nations in just about 12 years. He ran from like 20 years old to 32 years old. He was also known for wearing a leopard skull cap. The 4 wings represent the 4 realms of Alexander's kingdom. It was divided into 4 realms, 4 kingdoms. And these kingdoms are Hellespont, Hellespotn, Hellespont, Hellespont, which consists of Greece and Macedonia. You had Thrace and Bithynia, Thrace /BITHYNIA, Thrace and Bithynia. You had Egypt, it's the 3rd kingdom. Then you had Asia, including Israel, Syria, and Babylon. Once again, that's Hellespont, consisting of Greece and Macedonia. You had Thrace and Bithynia. You had Egypt. And you had Asia, including Israel, Syria, and Babylon. Now the four heads that it talks about are the four generals under Alexander who ruled each realm or each kingdom. Now Hellespont, consisting of the Greeks of Greece and Macedonia, was ruled by Alexander, general by the name of Cassander. Cassandra. Cassandra. Thrace and Bithynia was ruled by Lysimachus, which is Lysimachus. This is history, our story, that Daniel's is being revealed by the Most High, through the Spirit of the Most High, of these kingdoms that will come into power. How are they going to come into power? Egypt was ruled by Alexander General Ptolemy. P-T-O-L-E-M-Y. P-T-O-L-E-M-Y. Ptolemy. He ruled Egypt. Asia, including Israel, Syria, and Babylon, was ruled by Seleucus. And this dominion means power that was given to the Greeks. Now, when you go into the Apocrypha, and you go to the book of First Maccabees, the first chapter, it validates what Daniel's vision is saying. The Most High allowed him to see as a servant of the Most High, as a prophet of the Most High, the things that will be coming to pass in the future. This is First Maccabees, the first chapter, the first verse. It says, "And it happened after that Alexander the son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius king of the Persian and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece," or the first so-called white emperor, or Caucasian emperor, or Edomite emperor, "and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up in pride." Remember, he did this in 12 years. He ruled from 20 years old to 32 years old. "And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries, and nations, and kings, who became tributaries unto him." So we just read about his four realms that he set up. I'm going to let you know about this. "And after these things he fell sick with a bad case of syphilis, and perceived that he should die. Wherefore, knowing he's going to die at an early age, 32 years old, wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them, while he was yet alive." Like I just gave you the four generals that he parted his kingdom with. So Alexander reigned 12 years. That's from 20 years old to 32 years old, as written in the Bible, proving it. And Esau's history proved it also. And then he died. At 32 years old. And his servants, these four generals, bear rule, every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. I told you the different lands that they were ruling, different realms that they were ruling, different kingdoms that they were ruling. So did their sons after them many years. So once they died, their sons ruled in those particular lands also. And evils were multiplied in the earth. Hear that? Evils were multiplied in the earth when the Greeks came into power. "And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. So he reigned approximately 19 years after the Greeks came into power. Because remember, Alexander took them down in 12 years. So he reigned. This wicked one came out of Seleucus' line, mind you. He started to reign. So let's continue on in Daniel's. I just showed you how that correlates with the Apocrypha, how it correlates right here with Daniel's as we read Daniel's. Let's continue here. Daniel's the 7th chapter, and we're in the 7th verse. It says, "After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns." Now this fourth beast is the Roman Empire. Started to come in power. It's the same people, the same as the Edomites, so-called Caucasian people, the first emperor being Alexander, who forefathers Esau, who became the Edomites as a nation, who are the forefather of the Caucasian people today. They came into power approximately 27 BC. In the full power, approximately 27 BC. It's a dreadful and terrible, strong exceedingly. The Roman military, the Roman legions, they call them. The strategies and their method of war was humongous. They were very powerful. They worked out. They ain't like women, so all they did was work out. And so they had these little swords, the little small swords, so they could take a man and just cut him, split him right in half. So all they did was work for their military. That's it. They stamped the residue. They conquered the nations preceding them. All the nations before them. The Romans were powerful. Like I said, that's all they did. Different, diverse, they ruled by a democracy. Kingdom before it ruled by a monarchy. One king, one ruler. But the Romans brought in democracy. Demonocracy, really, rule of the devil. That's where it comes from. The 10 horns represent the 10 allies that paid tribute, that gave tributary to them. Present day would be the European Economic Community, the EEC. Right along with, just what they had then, they have, now. The ones that would, control all the money markets. That's what they do. And they support the Edomites, the so-called, white people. They support them. That's what they do. You understand? So, and they're called the European Community or the European Economic Community, the 10 horns. Let's look at Revelation 17. And we look at 12 and 13. It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings. 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast." With the Caucasian race, that's the superpower of the earth at this time. And at that time, these have one mind. They're all together. and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Remember that. They're going to give their power and strength unto the beast. So let's go back. Daniel 7 and 8. Let's look at, I got to continue to, we went over Daniel's 2nd chapter. I hope you still have that breakdown. But we're going to go back to it because he prophesied about the kingdoms that were coming to the earth also during that time. Nebuchadnezzar had a dream. And Daniel told his dream. Even though he didn't know what he dreamed. But Daniel gave an interpretation of the dream. Deep. Heavy. Looking at Daniel's 2 and 40. Daniel's 2 and 40. It says, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. Some of this fourth kingdom, some of the Roman Empire. You know, it came into full power around 27 BC. Strong as iron means referring to the Roman legion, the military, as I said previously. We break in pieces and subdue and bruise, conquer all empires before it bring all empires to its feet. And before its feet is going into a future prophecy of America. Okay? It's verse 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet, this is Daniel's 2:41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with merry clay. So this potter's clay is talking about it's partly weak. Because you're talking about clay and iron. Those two is giving analysis of clay and iron. So America is partly weak. You know, with all the things that it go by. And it stand by. Homosexuality, lesbians, and the things that are contrary to the laws of the Most High. That makes you weak. You're strong when you're prosperous by following the laws of the Most High. It says in Joshua 1 and 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou may do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt be prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. So if you follow the laws of the Most High, which they don't, that's why it's weak. Very weak. The men now are coming up in feminine. They so sensitive, you can't tell them nothing. They all are sensitive. Like a woman. I seen a cat today. The woman had on sandals. He had on sandals. Both of them walking look the same. All weak nature. You know, coming up with all. And our people is no different. They following the way of the wicked. Our people. Matter of fact, the scripture said, Israel wickedness compass the way of the wicked, man. The wickedness of the wicked. It's terrible. Part of iron is partly strong. It's military. Divided, Esau against Esau. You know, you look at Democrats versus Republicans, liberals versus conservatives. Everybody's against each other. A nation, kingdom divided against itself shall not stand. But they all together when it comes down to who we are. And making sure that we don't rise, because they know we got next, people. Strength of iron means it's military. That's what it's talking about, it's military. You know, the moral codes of America are very weak at this time. You know, think about it. I just seen a sister whooping a little girl. They might, you know, on Facebook, they might pick her up and put her in jail. But both sides say that's how America's weak. Mosiah said this in Ecclesiasticus 30th chapter. See, they don't believe in the word of Mosiah. They don't believe in the word of Mosiah at all. Ecclesiasticus 30:1, it says, he that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end. He that chasteneth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. Because he's going to be in order, with respect. That's why these children don't respect nothing. They don't respect no one. They come with all these little stupid games. Now they got the slap game. They talking to you, next thing they pow, slap you and run. That's why you gotta be on guard at all times. You might have to just whoop, wham, and just smack their butts, knock them out. Just ignorant. This is the nature of the beast right now. All kind of stupid stuff. Can't do nothing but just come up with, conjure up stupid stuff. Weak. Instead of helping their minds to grow, exercising their minds, no, they rather do stupid stuff. And the parents not teaching the children right, therefore they're gonna grow up to be that's the future. These wicked children and wicked kids. Let's go back to Daniel's the 7th chapter. And the 8th verse. See, I considered the horns, the powers. Horns mean powers. And behold, there came up among them another little horn,